I'll move.
I got Jody that moved it.
Second.
Josh second.
Paul.
Paul, I'm so sorry. That's the second time I said that word. I apologize. Stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Turn your name around so it's not reading every time. Right, we need to move on the minutes. I need a motion to move on the consent agenda for the minutes, bills, financial report, employment. Recommendation for employment for Eileen Mazza, substitute teacher Jacqueline Lindmeyer, substitute teacher Suzanne Sikowicz, substitute teacher also Suzanne Sikowicz for special education coordinator, and for the 2024-2025 summer maintenance and custodial, help 2025 and 2026 fall coaching and volunteer update, as well as resignations for Ashlyn Mallett, for Jacob Schultz Ashlyn Mallett as a St. Mary's High School teacher, as well as a junior varsity softball coach, and the volleyball coach, university volleyball coach. Jacob Schultz for the St. Mary's High School certified teacher, Jacob Schultz for St. Mary's High School junior varsity boys basketball coach, Madison Schultz for St. Mary's High School teacher, and Jennifer Teft, St. Mary's Middle School certified teacher, as well as retirement for Casey, is it Brady?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jody Schurmeister, also known as Mrs. I need a motion for that.
Make that
So-
motion is presented.
Second.
I got a second first from Beth. One motion from Jody. All in favor saying aye.
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 With an asterisk next to Casey.
With an asterisk. I put one there on purpose.
Thanks.
Motion carries. We'll start with presentation agenda, district retiree resignation. That's what we need.
Yeah. The board, if you'll go ahead and come forward in front of the tables, and then the supervisor of each of our retirees, we're going to call you forward to stand next to them by the podium. And then after they each say a few nice words about you, you'll have an opportunity to kind of do a horseshoe here, shake their hands, and then at the end I'll shake your hand and we have a special little gift for you. It's made out of, we think, white pine, thank you. Doug McKelvey made these, our very own man made these. Sorry, I know I'm McElroy, sorry. Made these for each of our retirees that has once a lumberjack, always a lumberjack, with the retiree's name, their years of service, and then a nice quote on the back. Never underestimate the difference you have made and the lives that you have touched. So we wanted to do something that really honored each of you, and also something that was very unique and special to St. Mary's. So we'll start off with Diana Badgett. You're going to stand by Dr. Arcouche. You can say a few words.
I have a lot of words to say.
You.
So,
Yeah.
this is going to be succinct and impactful with lots of words. So, Mrs. Badgett has been teaching in our district for 31 years. A rough estimate of 655-year-olds. Just want you to picture how many lives she has touched from the very beginning with her calm, consistent manner. She is a steady leader and friend to everyone who walks through the door. Everyone's a colleague. Everyone is made to feel worthy. Every child, every adult, every parent. She's welcoming, she's helpful, she's mentored the kindergarten team who's here now and many before them. She's mentored many other grade levels that I have. She gives. Her generous heart is full of friendship and love, collegiality and collaboration. Her one nemesis at Hayburn is the computer. And she has conquered even that over the course of the years. She could have 100 5-year-olds in a room and have them dancing to her tune within a week. She's supportive, caring, gentle, kind, firm, and loving. And she will leave a hole that we cannot fill, but she's leaving Hayburn with the warmth of her love that's never going to fade, because her legacy lives on in those 650 5-year-olds out in the world. We're going to miss you so much.
We shake their hands.
They have.
Mark Temple and Jill Gilmore.
Come on up, Mark. So a few words, I'm pretty good at that. So I'll say a few words. Mark came to us about 4 years ago, plus a little bit, I think, and had a background starting in farming, construction, carpentry, and a whole gamut of other things. He's been a big help for us. It's been nice to have someone with the experience to turn loose on projects and do a very nice job of it. He's owned his own business for nearly 20 years or more, I think, and he was very successful in that realm. He's helped with multiple projects throughout the district. We've turned him loose on all kinds of things, from cabinetry to finish work to construction work to repair work. We've done a lot of things together. So, you know, Mark's always been good with his stories. If you ever known Mark, you might know he's played a little football, and so and loves the football and that kind of thing. Always good for a story. It's been a pleasure to have him as a working partner, but more so as a friend. I appreciate him very much. I wish you nothing but the best in the future. So that's the few words I have. I could go on forever. We've had a lot of time together and shared a lot of stories. So congratulations.
Thank you. Happy retirement.
Sherry Shafee.
Susan,
We've
you
got
want to
two
come up?
Retirees.
Only one is here tonight.
Okay.
But so Susan Mullen has been with us, and we were trying to remember, is it more than, it's just over 9 years, right? Oh,
We
is
got
it 13?
Oh, yeah, girl.
Oh. Oh, okay, that's what I'm not remembering. Okay. So over 13 years, which is even more than I realized. Susan has been with us through some very difficult times, through the pandemic when we went from regular cooking to all-in-one kitchen and having to prepare meals for students to come pick up. She's been through I counted 5 cooks. I don't know if that's good or bad. But she's done a wonderful job of basically training cooks to be prepared in their position and supporting them, and just done an amazing job feeding students and making sure that kids get the nutrition that they need. So she's been a huge asset to food service, and we'll really miss her but we know that retirement is also a wonderful thing, and we just hope she'll come back and sub for us. So, congratulations.
Miss Miller and Principal Asbury. Shannon Cloud.
Okay. So Shannon has devoted her 38 years in education to teaching kids with special needs. So if you can imagine the trials and tribulations and joys that she's gone through, I'm sure there has been many. She actually started her career in Louisiana, and she worked there for 13 years working with students with severe behavioral needs. And then the St. Mary's School District was lucky enough to have her for the last 25 years of her career. So we at the high school and just at high school.
No, I said Hebron.
At Hebron, and then the high school. Shannon started to tell me one time about how many degrees she had and how many certifications, and she would be certified to teach almost any grade and any subject level that we have in the district. I was absolutely amazed. Yet with all that, her heart remained with students with special needs, which is, of course, is dear to my heart. Shannon is compassionate, kind, and energetic. I'm lucky to have her as a friend and a colleague.
So Shannon, she spent the last 4 years with me at the high school, giving in every way you could imagine, volunteering time, and she's just crazy enough to come back and coach cheerleading one more year next year. Also volunteered her time assisting middle school track, coaching high school track this year, so we just appreciate your dedication in the classroom and also with our student athletes, so thank you.
Principal Carson. And Judy Freeman.
Come on up here, Mrs.
I'm a baddie.
I couldn't be more thrilled to be here in front of you today to recognize Miss Jody Schurmeister. Tonight will be a time to celebrate the extraordinary legacy of someone who has shaped countless lives with her witty sayings, her endless humor, but also unlimited wisdom, kindness, and passion. For 38 years, Jody has not just taught lessons from a book, but instilled values, sparked curiosity, and inspired dreams. She turned her classroom into a place where students felt seen, where they felt heard and challenged. Ask any student and they'll tell you, Mrs., as the students call her, isn't just a teacher, she's a mentor, she's a cheerleader, and a source of inspiration. To say we'll miss her is an understatement. Her absence will be felt in every single corner of our building, in the guidance she gave to her colleagues over the years, to the rigorous expectations she set for students, and the contagious laughter. She's truly one of a kind, and we mark this year as the end of a profound era. As you begin this new chapter, know that your impact will never retire. Your legacy will live on in every life you touched, including mine. Congratulations on your retirement, Jody.
You're welcome. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. How's Buddy? Yeah.
That's everybody. You want a group picture there? Yeah. Is that? If we go, I think we'll all fit behind. The retirees, can we have you for a second for a picture? We're doing some math real fast.
won't bite.
Gonna blend in. How are we doing this?
I don't know.
How much room we got?
Where do you want us, bud? Yep, yep.
We'll get on the outside. I'm not laughing. No, he's, you're all right.
Okay.
That work? Awesome, guys.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
It'll be okay if you leave. We won't make you stay. We won't take it personal.
Staff appreciation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There we go next.
I was gonna just hold on there.
Yep. No worries. I'll give them all a minute.
See you, Bone. See you, Jeff.
Don't leave.
And the room emptied out.
We'll have you read it, the resolution.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mark. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
That's fine. Of course. Grandbabies are the
That's
best.
worth every bit of it. That's awesome. Blessings, you guys. Yes, sir. Good luck, sir. All right, we're going to move on to B.
I'll say it real fast, just, I don't know if they can hear me.
I'll let him
Yeah.
walk down. They all need to smile.
Yeah.
It's okay.
What? You're supposed to, unless you're waiting till June. We can wait till June.
All right.
I just wanted to say on behalf of the retirees, I know they are outside with their families, but if you add up all the years, I think it's close to 140 years of service and dedication. And they probably touched close to 1,600 students in that 140 years. I had, the privilege of just under 2 years of working with them, and it's been an honor to see their dedication and their hard work. Whatever department, they were in, just there to serve staff and kids and or in the classroom, and being a big impact in terms of supporting our students and being believers of our vision to want to work until they see 100% of our kids, walk across that stage. So I just want to say that for our retirees.
We know they're very much appreciated. Speaking of appreciation,
Yeah,
move on to staff appreciation.
correct.
Staff appreciation resolution. That'd be you, Dr. Wrench.
I'll let you read it. Last week was our National Staff Appreciation Week. So I know the principals, and you might hear a little bit tonight from all the different school buildings and the directors of the different departments, did all kinds of fun different activities to celebrate their staff. And kids were extra nice that week. Nobody got in trouble last week.
Awesome.
And then
No one got in trouble all week?
that was the way they were going to thank their teacher. And then on behalf of the board and myself, we went around and delivered lunch to each of the departments in each of the school buildings. And here's a good quote from Jody Schumeister. I might use her quote. She said, I didn't feel cracker and cheese appreciated this year. I felt double meat Subway appreciated. So, all right, we'll let you read the resolution.
So school board resolution recognizing Teacher Appreciation Week, May 5th through 9th, 2025. St. Mary's Joint School District number 41 school board resolution. Whereas our country's future depends upon providing quality education to all students, and whereas teachers and staff build relationships with students that enable young people to believe in their own potential, and whereas teachers and staff work long beyond the normal school day to instruct, transport, supervise, advise, and feed the students, and whereas teachers and staff care about their students and impact them with the skills they'll need to thrive in an adult life, and whereas teachers and staff have adapted to different challenges to provide instruction while keeping students safe, and whereas our community recognizes and supports its teachers and staff in transporting, nourishing, supervising, counseling, and educating the children of this community, now therefore be it resolved, the St. Mary's Joint School District number 41 School Board proclaims May 5th to be Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week. Be it further resolved that the St. Mary's School District number 41 School Board strongly encourages all members of our community to join with it in personally expressing appreciation to our teachers and staff for their dedication and devotion to the students of St. Mary's School District number 41. Awesome, good job, guys. You want official? Okay, no worries. So May 5th. Sir? And you pass it, please. You can tell a lot of emotion.
Good,
in the
right?
room. It was really good. A lot of emotion in the room. Yeah, definitely shows impact. Definitely shows impact.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to C, the St. Mary's Student High School student presentation. We'll start with Principal Asbury.
Great.
Student, yeah.
So thank you. Our students here tonight, oh wow, they're right here. You're sneaky. I'm going to start with our academic side. As you see this board out here, it's our valedictorian, salutatorian, and here to speak regarding academics and that process is Addison Edwards.
Hello, I'm Addison Edwards. I'm the salutatorian for St. Mary's High School. Unfortunately, our valedictorian couldn't attend tonight. So I'm here to just tell you a little bit about how the school district and the school board and everyone here has kind of helped me achieve this. So I've been here since I was 3rd grade, and every step of the way through every school, every classroom, every teacher I've ever encountered, they've all been so supportive and helpful and very dedicated to making sure we know what we need to know and making sure that we have the supplies and resources that they can provide and will provide to us so we can be successful in our futures and our future lives. And I really appreciated of everyone of that. They also made sure that we knew everything we needed to do out in the real world, and just overall made sure that we could came to be well-rounded individuals, and I'm so thankful for everything they've done for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next two groups, we were going to have track here as well and golf, but golf is actually at state right now. They're competing in Burley. They left on Saturday, so their first round of golf was today at state. Track is preparing to leave, and so they were still at practice this evening. So we have baseball and softball teams here to talk about spring sports. So which one of you is taking the lead?
Okay, I'm Avery Baird. I'm Brenna Elliott, and we're seniors on the softball team this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it ended last week, 2 weeks ago, in the district game down in Orfino. But I joined my freshman year, so I only got to play 4 years with these girls, and I made so many memories and so many new relationships and friendships that I would want to take back to the world. And I bonded a lot with the teammates. We had few team dinners here and there, and then we had a lot of great people work on our new field down at the high school at the sports complex, and we actually got to use that this year finally. And it was amazing that we got to use that as seniors, so I feel pretty special. But we actually got to host our first district game on there too, so I think we kind of made history with it. Like, we were the first ones to use it, so I felt pretty cool. But I'm just really grateful for the Booster Club and the school board and everybody that helped us put it together. So.
Yeah, and I agree with everything Avery said, and I also think it's important to not only the physical and mental well-being of the girls that play softball, but we also use community involvement, and we help the little girls with kids camps, and we've done that the last 4 years, and we do like different drills with them, and we do like 6-hour increments of helping them do softball, and I think it's really important with the community.
Agreed.
You ladies have been a wonderful support to my daughter too. I can't tell you how much that shows you guys being a team and a support even after the fact. So I appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, gentlemen, talk to us about your baseball season.
Alright. Hi, my name is Reeser Pugh.
I'm Carter Blackwell.
I've been playing baseball in St. Mary's since probably around like first grade up in the Little League. Started in T-ball and I've played all the way up until this year. Our baseball team just ended our season about 2 weeks ago or so. We made it to the districts, but we lost out first round over in Orfino.
I started in 6th grade, unlike Reeser, who's been here his entire life. Right from the start, I already started to get close with the group of guys playing baseball here. And like Reeser said, sadly we lost out to Orfino, but we're a young team, so I definitely believe that we could make a big run next year or the next year after that. And yeah, it's just the coaches have been great, the program has been great, just we don't have a field yet, which we're working on, so that's all I have.
Yeah, I really wish we could get that field going. I mean, whether the players work on it or whoever else we can get, but we've done some fundraising, like we put on some little kid camps earlier this year to raise a little bit of money. We did some annual cleanups that we usually do every year. We walked around the park area to clean up trash during one of our practices. And I also wish we could get a batting cage up so we could work on batting more, because we don't really have one that we can use other than the one at the Legion field or the Little League fields. Or we also set one up in the gym. But it'd be nice to have our own batting cage that we could use every day at practice.
What positions?
I play short or second.
Short.
I play second or right.
Oh, awesome.
I hear Mr. Blackwell might make a donation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
and
really
last
don't
up
like Orfino.
for student presentation, Danica Sloper is going to speak on behalf of the senior projects, which you will see on the board as you exit the building.
Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Danica Soper, and I did my senior project on becoming a special education teacher, and it was honestly just a great experience to do. Miss P and Becky helped us through everything. I didn't have hardly any questions, and I felt prepared for it when it came time to present them, which was about a month and a half ago, I'd say now. And so yeah, it was fairly easy, nothing to stress about.
You still want to be a teacher?
Oh yeah, I still want to be a teacher. It actually did help me decide. That's kind of all I have. It was a great experience. I got a job shout out at the Havern.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great.
What
Good luck.
do you want to teach?
Special education.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
education.
Sorry. Okay, awesome.
You're good.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you.
See you in a couple weeks. Congratulations. Yeah, I know. I'll ask you who's like.
And that is our
Oh, no, we
end of
don't.
our
No, we don't.
student presentations. Any
Oh, yeah, we do.
questions for myself or the students this evening? The ASB will be back to chat when I give my building report as well.
That was my question. Was ASB on there? Okay. Awesome.
With-
Thank you.
Okay.
Very much.
You're next. He's
Can we
next.
get a picture with you guys for civic action for Rich?
Yes.
Civic. You get some points for
You get
that.
extra credit?
Yeah, they get some points for that.
Yeah.
No extra credit.
Yeah, but we were expecting to have a bunch of them come in because
Reeser, you can even go around this way.
the older rubric came in and spoke.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all, yeah.
So this is for class credit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We figured there'd be more of you coming in. One of the usual
He needs
suspects.
proof.
Where do we need
Yeah.
to stand, Garland?
You guys are
Right
taller.
there.
There you
Just
go.
him.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty good. Here we go.
Stay here.
Yeah.
Well, I was going my tippy toe.
I'll get your hair gets another 6 inches.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Moving on to food services department.
We're gonna, food service is gonna, she has her written report and she's gonna speak next
Okay.
one, if you don't mind.
Okay, and no worries. Is that all right with everyone else?
For to give a culminating, budget report.
Okay.
She wrote her written report.
So let's move on to Jennifer Miller.
It was the high school and ASB was going to talk.
They
That was what he
will
said.
with the high
That's
school.
why I asked about, yeah.
Oh.
It'll be-
ASB
it'll be
speaks
next
with,
time.
Principal Asbury for the, building
During
report.
this. Gotcha.
He'll be next.
I should have gotten an out if you have 3 good friends retiring. I don't know. Took me off guard. So I'm just going to have a little something in each goal area to share with you tonight. So, we good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
We'll follow along with your report.
Please.
So for academic achievement, I always try to give you a little bit of information that maybe you might not be familiar with in a couple of these goal areas. And the first one is many students in special education are required, all of them are required to take some sort of a standardized assessment. And most are able to take the ISAT or the IRI, and mostly with accommodations. Some don't, like maybe our kids with speech impairments. But a few of our students could qualify to take what's called the Idaho Alternate Assessment. Typically among the state, that's less than 1% of our students with disabilities. Not 1% overall, but 1% of our students with disabilities could qualify to take the alternate assessment. So in our district, in kindergarten through 3rd grade, students who are taking the IRI, and we do have an alternate assessment for that. And then in 3rd grade through 12th grade, there's also an alternate assessment, which is an ISAT assessment. And that's given typically by me, one-on-one with a student. So, and we do have students who qualify this year, but not every year. Another thing in Goal 1, I'm beginning the process of setting up extended school year services. This is like a summer school program for students in special education. Again, you have to meet very specific criteria, so not all students qualify for this. But it does give students some extra support if they meet 3 very specific areas that they could qualify for. Under goal number 2 in college and career readiness, the Department of Vocational Rehab representative met with our 9th through 12th graders on May 7th. And if you ever have a chance to come and watch one of these presentations, it's really neat because it's a liaison through the special education department at the high school. And he works really closely with the students either on 504 plans or in special education, working towards either job readiness or career readiness, college readiness, or trade school. And so he's just a plethora of information, and it was neat to see the kids get really excited about that this year when he came to meet. He's really gung-ho and gets them to sign up so he can meet with them at least about once a month. So, and then the Shannon Cloud has been the one to work very closely with him, and Chelsea Asbury is getting more involved as well. And goal number 3 for safe, healthy, and inviting place. This time of year is time for interagency agreements, MOUs, contracts. It's a busy time of year in special education, and just really working on finding the best people that we can to support our kids in special education for that safe and healthy place. And we continue to welcome new students into special education. We got 3 more last week, either qualifying or transferring in from other districts. So, and then of course, my communication with parents and community is the same as what I usually get there. So, any questions?
Did you say there's 3 new students?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Ms. Miller.
Yep. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Miller,
you.
very much. Very much for doing it.
So we skip. We missed.
I was going back to it. They were all collaborating, so it's
Perfect,
fine. Yeah, no worries. You're back up, buddy.
Okay.
ASB, I was trying to give you guys a moment.
Yeah, they were itching to go. So before my building report, I'll let the ASB crew here kind of give you a rundown at the end of the school year and really what they hope to leave to the next junior class coming in and the expectations of leadership that we have in place at the high school.
Hey, before you guys start, do we need to like write up a continuing resolution to Clobber or Pino or what?
I know, both teams.
Okay, I'm
too,
Sergeant
right?
Arms.
Expect that by the end of the year, by the way.
Basketball too, I think.
Okay, I'm Sergeant at Arms, and personally, I just hope to leave the involvement we had with the board, and I would say the schools in general. I think ASB had a lot of involvement with the school and the other schools. I think that's why I want to leave with ASB next year.
Yeah, I'm the secretary, and piggybacking off of what she said, we got to visit the Hayburn for, I think it was Red Ribbon Week, or the middle school, and we got to like help them with their dress up days, and kind of just collaborate with them to help them plan that out. And then like homecoming week, ASB has a lot to do with that and picking themes, helping with decorating the halls. We hosted games in the lunchroom all the time, so you have to be able to come up with those. And so kind of, yeah, like she said, involvement and just keeping things up and wanting more students to participate, because participation is kind of low, and it's always fun when we have big events like that. So.
And I'm vice president, and a big event we have upcoming is the 8th graders coming up, and some different family members, if they have the younger siblings, they get to help walk them around, and we have different rooms where they can come in and learn more about different clubs, sports, or any questions they have. So I think it's really good for them to come up and just get a tour of the high school, so they're not so nervous on their first day.
Yeah, and ASB plans that too. So we have a big assembly at the end of the day.
And
So
then,
we
yeah.
host like a bunch of minute to win it games and stuff to just get them welcome into the high school.
And then the new ASB officers get elected from the junior class too.
Yeah. And that's Thursday. This Thursday.
That's
so.
this Thursday.
Yeah.
No,
next
next
Thursday.
Next
Thursday.
Thursday. Next Thursday.
I'll go over that.
Next
I'll go
Thursday.
I'll go over the dates.
So yeah.
That's the warm up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We were
Thank
really
you.
proud of you guys this year, getting involved and seeing
Yeah.
you guys here in the board more. I know Josh had made a point of wanting to see you guys, and it was just great to get you guys to collaborate with us. It's definitely a point of leadership, right?
Yep.
And that shows definitely in good employees and good promise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope
So-
the ASB keeps it up too. Next year.
Yeah. Well, Miss Beck's pretty awesome back there. I know she does a really good job, so we appreciate her.
I have a question for you. So from the first time that you came in and presented, is it easier now, or do you still get like
So
nervous?
much easier. So much easier.
Look at their own
Practice,
flags.
right?
Yeah.
Flags
Practice,
crossed.
right?
Yeah. I was nervous first time, but easy now.
Same thing with a job interview, college interviews,
Yeah.
any sort of public speaking.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Good
doing our
job.
senior projects also helped with us being
Definitely.
less nervous for
Mhm.
public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Good, good. We appreciate you guys for coming and sharing with us.
Yeah.
Very
Thank
much.
you.
guys.
Thank you, ladies. Very much.
See you guys.
See you in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
awesome.
So any questions for myself before my building report regarding our ASB?
Any big changes next year for ASB, or?
No, we're simplifying, not simplifying, we're kind of codifying our process and our expectations a little more. Just so if there ever is a change, if heaven forbid Becky's nowhere around, like we're still gonna keep trucking. So just kind of formalizing some of our processes.
Okay, okay. Definitely encouraged, definitely to see them as much as we
Yeah,
can.
and then
That
they
was
were
really
great.
awesome.
They take a lot off my plate and they do a lot of planning and organizing and, yeah, they're a big help.
Yeah, we appreciate you very much.
So under goal 1, ISAT testing was complete on the 28th of April. And I believe you have your scores in front of you there. Science, we're above the state average on our science scores. We're just about there, a few percentage points below in math. And we're right even at the state in ELA. So those are huge numbers in ELA, a great amount of growth from winter until now. So I was very proud of our staff and some other school improvement items we put into place to earn those scores. STAR testing is still ongoing. We should have that data back in the next couple of days. College and career ready. 2 new competitions we were able to send our CTE students to this year for the first time in a lot of years. Was the Skills USA competition in Nampa. And out of 28 contestants in the construction world, you can see our finish there. Kieran Hummel in 4th, Riley Esperance in 10th, and Louis Ballou in 22nd place. So that's very good showing from our construction crew and our welding crew and fabrication. We took 2 different types. We took a team competition and then an individual competition. The team competition, they gave you a set of prints and just said, build this. So you didn't know what you were building until you got there. And they gave you specs and you had to make it. And on that team was Bridger Burns, Jordan Hammonds, and Trace Chatney, and they finished 7th out of 12 teams. And then you can see the individual competitors. Shelby Green, 17th, Chuck Cluse, 24th, and Alan Wise, 31st. So very good showing. We go next week also to the regional competition for welding certification. And we believe we have the most welders this year to ever be certified, and we're shooting for 14.
Wow, that's awesome.
Really?
We've given them 2 different preliminary tests because I said if I'm going to pay for transportation and your entry fee, I need to know it's not a funsies trip.
Right.
Yeah.
So 14 of them already passed the test in-house.
That's good. Yeah, good job doing that.
So we'll see on the day of what happens because it's a pretty intense process. So
awesome.
Fingers crossed.
That's an official certification, right?
Correct. Day 1, I said I would pay for and send them on day 1, and there's also a second day that they can go back and keep getting more certifications. And I said day 2, I'll excuse you from school, but we can't have your instructor and a bus driver and everybody out for that many days. So a lot of the students, if they do well day 1, can choose to go back day 2.
Nice.
Also in that College Career Ready world, National BPA just returned Saturday from Orlando. We had 7 students go, and I've listed them there. Very positive experience, besides the fact they said the weather was awful. And that kind of made me happy because if I'm here dealing with this, then by golly, you can't enjoy yourself. No, they had a great time. Cooper Daniels doing amazing with that group of kids and getting them ready for the business world. So, yeah, I think our CTE programs are pretty dialed in right now. Under goal 3, you can see the various checks we had there. Lockdown and hall checks. Also did a campus cleanup during a fire drill. It's pretty handy to pull the fire alarm, and then as they walk back to the high school, they get a garbage bag. Like, oh, whoops. Here you go.
Whoever brings in the most garbage gets a milkshake.
They do, but then they clean out the garbage cans and put them in their bag.
Make sure they go to the garbage and get milkshake. No problem.
We gotta really watch them because they come back with some full bags, and we're like, where did? And then I go watch the camera, and I'm like,
Came out of the back of the pickup.
There's not that much garbage around here.
And
What do
in
you
the
mean?
garbage can.
Yeah.
So.
That's ingenuity.
That
Ingenuity.
Now channel it.
Yep. Our 8th grade
Work harder, not smarter.
8th grade visit is coming up next week, as the girl said, on the 22nd. Our academic awards night is also next week, and our scholarship night, in which we hand out some crazy number of local and state scholarships, like $1 million every year. So it's a pretty cool night. And the 8th graders, I think that date's wrong on there. Don't I have a corrected one somewhere? But it is this Thursday, isn't it? Yeah. Correct. So, yeah, it's going to be a big, oh, there it is on the last page, sorry. The 15th, under Communication with Parents and Family, our Nice Star Awards, in which we honor our valedictorian and salutatorian, was on the 28th of April, an awesome night of food, and all their parents, and they honor their teachers, and our valedictorian and salutatorian were honored. on that night at the Coeur d'Alene Inn. 2 nights later, we honored Idaho Top Scholar, in which is the top 10% of your junior class, and that was it. That's at NIC, and that was on the April 30th. We just finished hosting district track, which was Friday, Saturday, an amazing event. Went off, I think, pretty darn smooth. We will be sending 15 track athletes to state tomorrow, or Wednesday. So yeah. District softball ended on the 2nd with a loser out game against Grangeville. Prom was on May 3rd, and that was a great event. We held it in the Eagles this year. It was a little more packed, and we were kind of nervous about it, but it turned out great. 8th grade parent night this week, when 8th graders and their parents can come over, start the sign-up process, look at classes, get athletic forms, talk to teachers, talk to me, just to kind of ease that transition from 8th grade to high school. What else we have going on? Band, as you can see, May is every day there's something. May 20th, band concert at 6 at Presbyterian Church, just across the way there, and an art show on the 22nd in the high school cafeteria. And I'm sure there's lots of stuff in there that I remember day of and go, oh, it's May. So,
Is the concert middle school and high school?
yes.
Okay.
Well, yes.
Awesome. At 6 o'clock.
I don't know if 6th graders go to or not.
7, 12.
Just
Okay.
the advanced band is what I thought.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
So any questions for St. Mary's High School?
Thanks, Principal Asbury.
Write down those dates so I can try to join.
I got 'em.
Thumbs
I
up.
got 'em
All
on
right,
slides,
I wanna
and
go to
we'll-
that.
Yeah, I think they're in the slide.
And we'll give 'em
I'm
to
looking
you.
at them, I just was writing them down.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's tough. And then
Awesome.
graduation, the 31st.
Yep. What do we need to get people, we have to get names to you soon,
Mhm.
so.
Yep, we'll start that process.
Okay.
We'll send an email for that.
Okay.
All right, any questions? Thank you, sir, very much for
Thank
showing
you.
up. Thank you.
Thanks, high school.
All right. Moving on to written monthly building department reports. Do you want anything to add to that?
I'd just like to point out some highlights from all the written reports. Hebron Elementary so far in their data are showing over 50% of the kids at or above grade level, both in math and language arts. At the middle school, for goal 3, you'll notice the Idaho Drug-Free Youth that Mrs. Huddleston kind of re-energized, and they took over 60 kids to kind of an end of the year activity. Principal Blackwell is showing that over 70% of our early literacy kids, K through 3, are showing that they know how to read, and that exceeds our end of the year goal so far. And then you got Joe, who's sinking back there with his endless, and the maintenance custodial, their endless list of projects to do for repair,
Thought you were just kicking
upgrades.
back this summer.
Repair, upgrades, and all the added safety measures. You've seen that list. We'll keep bringing that back to you. And then Janie and Transportation, they were a big help with the success of Live in the Woods by transporting the kids both Thursday and Friday to the event. And you'll see kind of making a big game plan on how best to advertise and recruit, because we're going to need at least 2, maybe 3 new bus drivers.
Okay.
End of report for them.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions to this, guys? Going. All right, moving on to F. Patron Mary Grieve.
Yes.
Crevet, I'm sorry.
Crevet. Oh, it is French.
This month is Community Action Month. And I get to run around and tell everybody about what I do.
And you got your shirt,
In case
sweater
you
down.
don't know. I'm finding out that there's a large portion of the community that is completely unaware that we exist. So I would like to correct that.
Mary, you guys were at the Benawa Resource Fair, yeah? That must have helped.
Anybody else would like to comment?
So I work for Community Action Partnership. Most people know us as the food bank. We're located at 416 Main Avenue here in St. Mary's. Our mission as Community Action is to be a catalyst for building relationships that inspire and equip people to end poverty in our community. We come at that through the vision of our communities working together to end poverty. We envision a community where all people are equipped to achieve their potential, have sufficient resources, relationships, and meaning in their lives to thrive. They're valued and are able to meet their own needs by utilizing their talents, potential, and passion. So we have a mix of clients and community partners that we've surveyed. So every 3 years we do a survey of our service area. And so it's a mix of clients that come to see us and then community partners such as yourselves. And we serve 10 northern counties of Idaho and DeSoto County in Washington. So we did our survey and some focus groups last year. Several of you attended, thank you. And we learned some things. So when we say households in poverty, I'm referring to households with an income at or below 100% of the federal poverty guideline. So for last year, that level was $15,060 a year, which equates to about $1,255 a month for a single person. So for a family of 4, that income would be more like $31,200 or $2,600 a month. CAP serves households with an income at or below the 200% of the poverty line. So 100% is the lowest of the low, and we go up another 100% to make sure we close in that gap, because there's always going to be there's a big gap between poverty and success. So some core challenges that we discovered through this assessment was that income is a problem. 53% of the people that we surveyed reported that they borrowed money from friends or family to make ends meet. 37% of the people we surveyed said housing, that they had to choose between paying rent or paying for other basic needs. 26% of the people we surveyed reported that they went hungry because they were not able to get enough food. I'm a little passionate. That should not happen in America. Transportation was an issue for 32% of our people surveyed said they don't have any form of consistent, reliable transportation. 40% of the people surveyed said with children had trouble getting or keeping a job due to childcare issues. And 38% of the people we surveyed said they believe that mental health services and family counseling are important. 5.6% of the adults 18 and older in our service area report poor mental health. Last year, 5% of adults and 13% of youth reported experiencing signs or serious thoughts of suicide. 2022 had the highest number of deaths by suicide ever recorded in U.S. history. Those living in poverty are more likely to struggle with mental health. And I apologize. Okay, so population of Benoit County, this is not up to date, but as current numbers as I have. There's about 9,751 people. Of that number, almost 1,400 of them live in poverty, so that's about 14.5%. And there's a breakdown of male and female. It's kind of even in our county, it's not so much in others. Of that group, your largest population by age living in poverty is your 65 or older population. That doesn't come to much surprise to me. Most of the people I serve are elderly and disabled. The second largest population are your students. we believe in a pathway out of poverty. First, we need, mostly what I do is helping create stability in people's lives by giving them access to services for basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter. Second, we provide resources for coaching so that once they're stable, they can look up and decide, hey, I want to do something different. How do I do that? And then third, the biggest part of my job that I enjoy the most is coming and visiting with people like you to build networks around our community members so that when they go, oh, I want to try this, where do I go? Oh, I know so-and-so knows how to do this. St. Mary's is amazing. It's easy to build networks here. I learned how to network in St. Mary's. I would appreciate your guys' partnership. We do a networking meeting once a month, the second Thursday of every month at noon in the Gordon Ludi building, which is the extension office. In their, they have a meeting room in there they let me use. And basically it's really informal, nothing's formal about it. We come, some people bring their lunch, we sit around in a circle and talk about the different things that each of us is working on, things we're struggling with in the work that we're doing, and we offer advice, help, we brainstorm, and a lot of cool things has come out of that, including the resource fair. So creating stability, you'll see in your packet I added, there's some details to our theory of changing with creating stability, individual and family coaching, and then building a network. And I wanted to make sure you guys know that we really appreciate y'all's partnership in providing all the extra food from food services. Anytime you guys have a break or you go out for summer, we get all the extras, and that's amazing. Y'all are our #1 provider of milk, and it's wonderful. Just to share a little bit locally about our office, I'm technically the community engagement liaison, which is a really fancy title for I run everything. I am responsible for making sure the office is open, that people are fed, and that you guys know about it. Our food bank last year served more than 30,000 pounds of food to more than 272 local families regularly. Our energy assistance program helped more than 613 local households pay more than $371,000 in energy costs. I also do coaching and referrals for additional assistance, and last year the number I wrote down was 76. I am not the best at keeping track. People come through my door, we have a conversation, and they leave, and I forget all about it. So I'm working better at keeping track this year because, as we have heard, that it's more important than ever to prove that you are doing what you say you are doing. So some facts. Our most pressing office needs in the office are donations. They were down last year, both monetary and food. And grant funding, as you can imagine right now, is in limbo. We are primarily funded through a community action grant through the federal government. That amount of the grant has not increased in a number of years. And because of everything getting very closely looked at right now, it's very important that we don't spend extra money and that we are really careful about what we're spending and how we're spending it. So
thank you very much. Can we ask you some questions? Is that okay?
You can. Yes.
We are limited on time, but I would definitely want to ask you some questions specifically. No?
Public comment?
There's public comment.
There's no engagement.
There's no engagement. Okay. Well then,
Sorry.
definitely we appreciate
follow
you.
up,
Sorry.
though.
Follow up with you later. I'm sorry.
Okay. I didn't realize it was public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
signed
sorry.
up for the agenda.
My bad. My fault. You're right.
So I can ask some questions.
You're right. You can ask questions. Ask
All right,
away.
that's why I said 15.
My fault.
Okay.
My
All
fault.
right. Cool. Mary, can I ask you some questions?
You
Okay.
may.
Okay. It looks like you already had one of your meetings on the 8th. Was your last meeting for this month? So it'll be next month that you'll have one of those. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. And I just want to make sure I'm hearing that right. That's on the 12th then of June.
The second Thursday, if that's
Maybe
the
12th of
12th.
June. Okay. I just want to make sure. So if one of us wants to be there, we'll discuss that later amongst us.
And it's at noon?
Yeah.
Noon? You said noon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. never apologize about being passionate about something.
Yeah.
It's it's
I
inspiring.
don't know how to, I haven't figured that out
Correct.
yet. I get emotional and then I don't know how to like move on from that. I'm
It's
working on
inspiring.
it.
It's okay. It's
You
what
did
you
just
love,
fine. You did
right?
good.
And so that matters to us. So, anybody else have any questions for it all?
We'll we'll send out a calendar invite. Yeah, I've been able, I think Beth and I have been able to attend a few and hear some of the outlook at the Timber Plus. But the Benoit Resource Fair was awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
I didn't do
And-
much. We just brainstormed.
Well, yeah, and because of that, look what the product was.
Starting conversation, that's a
yeah.
good thing.
And thank you for this information and
Yes.
support for families
Definitely.
and kids.
And you're welcome to come visit. I'll give you a tour. It'll take all of 10 minutes.
Count on it. We appreciate you very much. Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
Yes, ma'am. Very much. Sorry.
So, yeah,
thought it
no,
was-
I
thought it was
I
like
had
15 minutes.
opens
What are
right
you
there,
talking
Patreon, I just
No worries,
read
no
them all.
worries. Any
No one
questions
even
on that?
there. Yeah, exactly.
So let's move on to G, general construction
Gotta
change
go back
orders.
into her.
Dr. Rich. Oh,
Sorry, I scrolled
Nope.
it.
What's that?
I scrolled
I saw
it.
you
Yeah.
guys scroll it.
Oh, yes,
Control
Gino,
control.
construction change orders. You'll see the two in your assembly or a binder. Gino spoke to it a little bit last time they were here presenting, so we have two. One is for a little bit over 26,000, and that's for the extra soil excavation that they had to do with the wet conditions. That's the first one. And then the second one, some extra materials, and again, excavation with the drainage and the foundation.
When they were here last week, I wanted to talk about
Yes.
the fact that they were suggesting we just cancel some of our plans, some important plans that we had asked them to do to make up for the finances. Is there any way we can not do that?
I don't know of any.
They're trying to get rid of the lean-to.
Right.
They're like, get rid of the lean-to so we can take care of
Oh.
this. I have an argument about
Sure.
this, and that's, and I made this apparent when we discussed this, is that when they do these change orders
Mhm,
so early in a project,
mhm,
when they lived up here in North Idaho for how long,
mhm.
they knew what they were getting into when you turned to the side of a mountain.
Yes,
These are anticipations, I know whenever we started this a year ago,
yes.
that I brought to the attention of the board, and I was gone during, the scrutiny portion because I was on vacation, but I want to be aware of this so that this doesn't continue to come up. Change orders happen all the time, and then all of a sudden, there's 200 grand. And we're on a strict budget to get this CTE building, and this is something I was worried about. When they presented this to us last week, it was kind of like, well, this is just what's up. Instead of, I'm sorry, that's unacceptable to me personally, as a builder, knowing the things we can come up on, but you've been here for how long? You know what you're going to run into whenever you do this. Telling me there's extra water, drainage, or whatever extra costs because it was winter. You didn't anticipate this as a builder in North Idaho?
Right.
Those are the stuff I want to bring to the attention of the board because I have a feeling we might be seeing this again. And I know we're under this strict budget, guys.
Mhm.
This is a very important building to all of us. So please be aware of this.
Yes.
That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was my
No.
piece. That's my 2 cents because
That's fair.
this is 26,000 and 17,000.
Yeah.
Remember whenever we were looking at these budgets and they were, when their bid came in, their very first bid, they looked at a very simple draft and they came in $5 million under our top dollar on a bid. And I was like, these are the things I'm concerned with. So, heads up, just be aware. Okay,
And
so-
you'll notice, they deducted the 10,500 on the one change order because
Right.
we went out and got the lumber donated.
Yeah, so
Try to support them and the extra cost of the construction.
I was in a meeting today at the ALC office and Allison Dunham was there and she was asking me about how this was going and I
Yeah.
said, I'll let you know, we've got a meeting tonight. So.
Yeah. They're back, they're working again. They're sending, the, load
Load restrictions
limitation
are
was,
off,
was lifted, and I think they shared at the last presentation that they wanted to start by May, the first week of May, and they are. They're sending pictures every day, so they're back at work. We got the change orders approved, and they're looking, as the weather gets nicer and the soil dries up a little, they're looking to try to catch up somewhere.
Yeah.
And we'll hear from them again.
Dr. Rynch did want them to come in and talk to us about it, and that was
Yeah.
something that was kind of sideswiped. I don't remember who was here last meeting, but when I got that, I was like, there's so much where it becomes, okay, we need to start calling you out on this, because this is gonna become, so early, $50,000, no big deal. I'm sorry, it is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a bid.
Immediately, when
Right.
we just broke ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, when I'm doing builds, I'll put in a clause if I run into like basalt, something that's gonna prohibit me from digging, or have more engineering involved, it's gonna cost a lot more money. Not something like weather patterns or drainage issues. That's stuff that's unacceptable to me, especially as a builder. We have clauses for that originally, and whenever we're writing up under what we consider as a contingency that we write across, not asking the board to back down. This is my personal, I'm just saying this, but not asking us to get rid of something that we have planned on. Like, oh, you can just take care of, take this off or take that. It's like, that's not that easy when we're a school district getting funds from the government that we scrutinize every dollar. So I just want to bring that to everyone's attention.
Yeah.
That's hard on me. I know it's a very big project to you, and so I want this to be fulfilled without us just being nickeled and dimed. Let's just say that. Okay?
Well, it bothered me when they said that, they came into this because it was a warmer winter than normal. And if it was really cold, they would have been able to go ahead, and I'm like,
it's about to happen.
geologically.
They're just talking about
nothing's
water. They're
different.
talking about
It's
diverting
like,
water.
it's like, this is water. Water goes where it wants to go, and it's going to go there at some time of the year, or we're going to get a warm winter, 5 years down the road, and then have major water issues because it wasn't done right in the first place. So on one hand, I'm glad that this is being done right, but it should have been always that way. It should have been in the
Right.
original bid, I felt. I didn't like that.
Water diversion isn't $50,000. That's my point, right? This is
Different
where I get to the
drainage
point of
patterns.
Right, when you get 8 guys coming to the table telling you how something should be away, and you're looking, I'm feeding 8 mouths to come and tell me one thing. That's what I look at and go, what's my concern with this right now? Right, that's what I mean by how many gentlemen come up to talk to us and have a conversation at the table. And that's where I start my red flags are going up. And so right in the beginning, we have 2 change orders. And I'm just telling you as a builder, be aware, pay attention, keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
So, you did a really good job, Dr. Rynch, in having them come forward and be like, you better tell them that yourself. Because that's something they need to do. But
Yeah,
I don't know if
that
everyone
looks
caught all that. So
And they meet with Joe, myself, and Principal Asbury fairly regularly, so I'll certainly invite one of you to those meetings as well.
Well, Joe, is there any issues that you're seeing that could have been done better? I mean, I'm not trying to scrutinize their work right now, but I'm saying what we need to pay attention to and possibly.
The drainage thing was pretty plain. We have drainage tiles through there. It should have been looked at and have a diversion plan in there. Unfortunately, had we gotten started a month sooner, we would have probably been doing
Avoided
fine.
Right.
But when they got started, then the rain hit.
Yeah.
They are making some headway. The drainage system is nearly complete. They expect
Good.
by the end of the week to be where they want to be with the building.
Awesome. So,
Why is it our problem?
Right.
That's my point.
Because it was a bid. Why is it our issue?
Well, this is, I will break you guys back down to the factor of the 2 different types of bids. This is why when we first started this and I brought this to everyone's attention, I know we didn't all speak this language, there's a difference between a hard bid, right, that I was saying that we could get, and we did kind of that hybrid, right, where you're saying we're bidding this out for this cost without there being some sort of clause in our contract, this is what they're going to do it for. So it is our problem because ultimately we have a budget.
We had that. They
don't.
were design build bidding. That was what they were
It's still
doing.
a design build, which is the difference, and that's kind of the difference between, when they run into this, imagine there being a bank account, and we have this much, we've agreed to this much in the bank account, and we want this done on trust that they'll build that. There's no guarantees. And that's the ultimate struggle that I kept saying, we have a clause coming up so early in this build for $50,000 that I'm going, that's an issue to start off with. For me, to say, okay, there was a couple of things we had to move around and work with. It's one thing to say, hey, you guys want to change something, we're doing a change order because you've chosen to change these things or we prevented them from doing their work on time. There's another thing for them to come to us and say, Well, this just didn't work out in the timing that we needed it to, so we ran into some weather issues. Please give me $50,000 more. And I'm sorry, that's my personal, that's the way I'm understanding it, Joe, unless I'm wrong here. But when I see that as a builder, guys, remember, I do this, that's my cost. That's not the client's cost. That's what I have to endure. And be like, well, how do I figure this out? How do I engineer this correctly so that I can profit on the money that I'm promising, or the build I'm promising for the money that I promised them to do it for? Those are the problems that I immediately go, I mean, my attention span goes, now I'm going to be looking at their quality. Now I'm going to start scrutinizing their quality to make sure that they're really going to perform. And so I'm just bringing this to your attention, not because the fact that we can't move forward with this, because they had some options, but their options I don't think we should be looking at those options right now.
Yeah,
Let's take
takes
away
away
one
from
of the
the
major
quality.
things that we
Right.
decided we were going to do, which was the lean-to, and that'll just cover that cost. I'm sorry, this is a lot bigger to us than just doing that. Now we're going to ask the net to look for where can we have finances so we don't have to take away from that. Where can we make this up? And that's something that I was really worried about ahead of time when we had a gentleman before us telling it'll be okay, we'll make all this work for you.
Because we've
Those are my
already
words.
gone back and got more money.
Yes.
Already.
Yeah, we got the
Yes.
1.6, we're not gonna get more than that.
No.
Correct.
With the, donation of the plywood from Potlatch, we're at 33,000 right now. So Danette's got a close eye on, I mean, you typically anticipate in construction, you go over
You do.
the original amount. I mean, that's a contingency built in there. So we put a little money aside from our plant facilities that we've saved, and we'll share that at our budget workshop. And Seth's right, like, be cautious and be aware. But if we don't accept the change order, then we talk about where we're gonna take back or peel back from the construction.
And that's what I was trying to say.
And
Is
that
that if
takes
we don't
away
accept
from
it,
that-
then we
that
have to
takes
take
away
something
from the
off. 'Cause
quality
we're
of
in
the
contract
contract.
with them.
Or find a
You see what I'm
donation
saying?
or, yeah, so.
That's, I mean, it was wise and was beautiful, Paul, I donated us that plywood of $10,000 value, but we're deducting that in that offer. So my worry isn't the factor that they're not gonna perform right now. My worry is that they're gonna fulfill for what
coming
they say
next?
they're going to,
What's gonna
without
come
5 or
next?
6 more change orders between now and then.
Right.
Oh, it's summertime, it got a little warmer than we thought. I know I'm being a little facetious, but at the same time though, it's how I feel as a builder. Because that's whenever I start recognizing or I look for specific things, when I'm looking at my subs that work for me, I'm like, why are you acting this way right now? Why is this going on this early? So just heads up, okay?
How after we already had a contract, can they change it?
Because it's an open
Yeah,
contract.
there's two ways. You could bring a change order, and it's like an amendment to the contract, or we decide to change the scope, which would increase cost.
So that it's
What
because.
if we just say
Construction's-
no?
Then we
Then
have
we
to
would have
look
to
at
lose.
where we make up that $33,000 by, like, their suggestion was, and it's not, you guys make the decision, but their suggestion was, well, maybe your wood shop can build a lean-to, and then you'll make up that 33,000.
Didn't they bid this?
No, it wasn't a hard bid, that's what we're trying to explain, is they did bid it. Imagine it being like imagine it being an estimate.
Those are two areas.
We
they-
gave them our top dollar. They estimated they could possibly do
They gave us a
this.
proposal,
Now they're saying they can't do it for that amount, so we're gonna have to make up the difference.
so now they're making amendments,
So that's what these amendments are, the difference between the two different types of bids process.
and that's how construction goes.
Yeah. But normally whenever there is a bid on this, when I deliver a bid and I go, okay, you gave me your top dollar, you gave me your budget. Let me see if I can do it for that budget first. I find out if I can do that for that budget, but that also includes my contingency, not for you guys to pay for it.
Right.
That's for me to say, out of the amount of money that you have to spend, I can do it for that, and I'm gonna add 20% on, because nothing ever goes, like Dr. Wrench said, nothing ever goes exactly as planned in construction, always. So you have a contingency set aside, so it doesn't actually come out of your wallet. It's coming out of the budget you've already set aside, and that's the reality of it. And I'll tell you right now, this makes me worried for that.
That's their plan
So,
facility.
yeah. Let's just keep that in mind. I mean, my biggest, and my wonder goes, when is this gonna become, so far that we're past the point of no return with this build?
I don't think we'll get there, and I'm counting on, that the excavation part and the foundation would be some of the most expensive work.
Sure.
Because after that, right, the siding and it's a pretty plain building that's being constructed.
Right,
after
it's a
that.
pole barn.
Minus maybe it's a stick build,
Well, it's
But
it's a shop.
I
right,
gotcha.
right. But I'm thinking like we still have the heating.
We still have, yeah.
the ventilation
Correct.
system. You still have a massive
The roof,
electrical.
correct.
Those are the things that I worry about, which I know that they're subbing out with. It's not like
You
they
know,
don't come
the
with a
big
high
mysteries
regard.
are always what's underground.
What's that?
That's the big mystery. Is
Well,
you
what's
don't
underground.
what's underground.
Even
And once
with-
you
even
get
with
out
the
of the ground,
geotech.
then things are a little bit more predictable.
But
And we
they
can go
didn't
back
run into
and-
rock, is my point. It's
Right.
not like they're having a hard time, like, it's diverting water, I get it, I know it takes
Right.
time, but it's a lot of money. So, I'm just trying to say that out loud, not to create any more havoc than this, but pay
And we
attention.
can bring the proposal back where they estimated for each of the services
Sure.
and just revisit how accurate that still looks to us.
I don't think it's a big deal unless you guys do. I mean, we're at 30-something thousand for a changer. My worry isn't the factor that it's there now. It's that there's gonna be 3 or 4 more now.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be 250,000 or even 350, because this is building guys. It goes like that. That's how much these things cost. And so we're gonna run, oh, it's just another 50,000. It's being nickeled and dimed is rolling what it comes down to.
So we might end up with a basketball court.
Or you might just end up with not everything that you wanted to.
No.
The real reality is, yes, we want to fulfill this. This is a dream of ours, something that we really want to do for the high school. It's going to be, Danette, what do we have to lose now? What other things have we set aside? Because now we've got this ball in motion that we need to figure out financially to fulfill the dreams that we originally set aside on the promise from General Construction. That's kind of what this comes down to. And so keep that in mind is all I'm trying to say, because that's a big deal to all of us. Okay? Any questions, comments, or concerns on that before I move on? All right. We have any visitors for them?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So then, Dr. Wrench, on for your report.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Just a few fun pictures of the last few weeks of school.
Was it fire drill pickup? Oh no, that was in the park.
Cleanup day, which I think was April 26th. Then you've got BPA, who just went to nationals. What Peony kind of shared a picture of, that's the salutatorium and valedictorian
Correct,
with
yeah,
with
that's a
their
nice star.
with their nice star selection. So our top scholars.
Is that that must be an Asbury right there.
That's senior night for our spring sports. Oh, Bugbo. At Hayburn. And then at Upriver, these students read over additional 600 minutes.
I think that's your next one. These are the faithful attendant students.
These are the faithful attendant students.
Nice.
So that they can read 600 minutes. The point was, fun pictures that often convey informally to us a fun informal picture of how all the work we're doing as a staff and the support of the families to be reaching our goals for our kiddos. And the presentations tonight, particularly with our seniors, again, that's evidence. It's informal evidence, but yet it's evidence that shows how our work and how the staff work is supporting the kiddos in becoming college and career ready. Some of those pictures that you saw and in the building reports, particularly at the elementary, there were demonstrations of how the kids are improving and growing academically, particularly in their reading and math. You saw a few pictures tonight, and you heard from their presentations with the civic service, the cleanup day, the drug-free activity at the middle school. All those activities and hearing from the ASB just kind of show us on an informal level how the kids are feeling safe and connected. And you heard from the sports how they have that sense of community as well. So we're waiting for our formal data results to come in, and we'll talk more about our end of the year state data and hard data points in June and again in the fall. But it's nice just to see the presentations and look at some pictures and know that the staff's working hard and working with their families to support kids in achieving these goals.
Are we gonna hit 90% this year?
Grad rate?
We should.
Should be over.
Yeah, we're looking on track for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good job.
How many grads do we have?
63 should walk. 64.
right, so. And then with our our staff appreciation and our retirees, we just, we're seeing signs of how all the staff, 100% of the staff, and we're shooting for 100% of our kiddos hitting that vision. And we keep working until we achieve that for all 100% of our kiddos. So that's just keeping our focus. Here's some other things that are happening to support our kiddos and our staff as we meet our goals and vision. Lots of stuff. We've already had Staff Appreciation Week, but again, that's meant to be ongoing every day. Our board meeting is tonight, budget workshop, negotiation starting.
The pizza too?
It's out of Judy's pocket.
Sorry, not gonna live that down, am I?
Nope. Nope.
Sorry.
You're a good sport about it.
Yeah.
Another board workshop next week and another set of negotiations next week. We have crammed everything into the next 2 weeks.
Awesome. Perfect. Lots of down.
I think too.
Pizza both times.
I don't know.
That's
we might
just
have
going
to
too
do
far,
Subway
isn't it, Joe?
appreciation.
Chicken wings next time. That's what I do.
Here's some of the kid calendar activities that are coming up. And Tana will help us get all those dates out.
That band concert looks
You
good.
could email me and notify me
So we could do a
if you are
quorum.
attending
Band concert?
the concerts,
Any of it.
like the kindergarten graduation, just if you know you're going, if you can let me know, 'cause I need to
What if you don't
No,
know
I'm
you're
going
gonna
to
go
board
till the
meetings,
last
I'll tell
minute?
you that.
Then
What if you don't know you're gonna go till the last minute?
there's always one in a crowd.
Graduation, sure. Board meetings.
Keep to
Sure, yeah.
yourself.
Just want you to, just tell
Yeah,
you.
you just stand by yourself,
Yeah.
Keep
Or if
to
we're in
yourself.
doubt,
May
we'll quorum.
31st for sure.
Awesome.
Look good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's some pictures of Live in the Woods event.
Man, what a kickoff.
You can see Jody telling us all what to do.
Yeah.
That was
Big
such a
finger out
beautiful
there, big
day.
finger.
It was just, it just couldn't have been better weather,
Almost said
and
big
I was
bark.
blown away.
It was a big park, but big.
It was
I'm gonna
a
send
great
this.
event.
It couldn't have
Yeah.
been any better. Sun always shines on the A squad.
I do wanna just give another shout out to Jody Hendricks. He had this vision. He worked with many, many local people and schools to make it happen. So that is the Live in the Woods was our first annual Live in the Woods event. Sounds like it's gonna continue in northern Idaho. We heard nothing but good things from the parents and the kids, and even if they were quiet, we still heard nothing but good things from the parents and the kids. It'll be a lifetime of memories. Whether they knew it in the moment or not, it'll be memorable and monumental for them. And they got to experience just all the different opportunities inside the timber and ecology industries that they can.
And safety.
What?
Safety.
Safety, medical, welding, wildfire, natural ecology, auto mechanic. I mean, you name it. They just
Medical assistant.
Yeah, the computer and software that now runs those machines, I mean, just opened their eyes to how many different jobs are actually available for them that they might like to pursue.
How many kids went through it in both days? Do you know? From our
I think
district and
we
others?
figured we had 250 from ours, and then I want to say there was 200
On Friday.
Friday. It wasn't, and don't take this the wrong way, it wasn't near the chaos as it was Thursday, because all the students didn't show up at once. Thursday, it was kind of like, okay, the bus unloaded, and Dakota got off the bus with the students, and I'm like, what did I create here? And she says, I got it under control, it's fine, but it was chaos, but it was
Organized chaos.
Organized chaos. I mean, things flowed really well. We tried to keep things moving.
And the reason it was organized chaos, because if you look at that diagram, we gave a copy to every
Exactly, yeah,
and said you're going to go here and then there and then there.
Paul spotted immediately, was like, oh, Gosh, I know where that is.
You know, I gotta give a, you know,
I copied that map off for everybody.
you know, I guess apologize to Bean and the high school for kind of taking your career day away. That was my plan when I first talked to you about that.
Sometimes you punt.
I just wanted to get the
Especially in
equipment off
education.
site so they could, you know, originally we started, you know, we were wanting to move it, but then we got into insurance issues and then it was kind of like, well, okay, well, we'll just do this. And
No, it's just we live in a timber industry and we've
Yeah.
all seen bits and pieces of it, but until you actually
See
see
it
all the
all.
equipment and see
The whole process.
kind of the whole picture at once, it all really comes to life of
Yeah.
what all it takes to make it all happen.
you
What's
know,
been cool is
then,
hearing
I
all
mean-
the kids.
I know.
See, like, you know, recently, obviously, because Emily's home, but I've had a lot of kids in
Bless
you.
and they talked about it, and they loved it, and they were like, "Man, that's the stuff that I love hearing." So
Right.
kudos to you on that.
you know, and it was just like I said, a little envision that I had, and then I got hooked up with Blake Manley and Cleet Edmondson from the ALC, and then
Man
this is
from
kind of
there.
what it blew up into, in a good way. And you know, we had a lot of local support from, you know, Buell's, Danielson's, Nelson Brothers, Kirsten Compton. You know,
U of
the
I.
helicopters wouldn't have happened without her. I mean, she pulled that together.
That was incredible that they
Yeah.
came and did that. That was amazing.
You know, which was good for everybody to witness. You know, I witnessed, or I lived through that myself one time, and I don't, you know, it was pretty rough, but it's good to have that access, you know, directly to State Common Boise. You know, as well as IDL with their fire crew and their, what's the proper screen image, Josh, that they got, I want to say LiDAR, but is that it?
Oh, like the drone stuff?
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
infrared stuff. Yeah, that was interesting. You know, I ended up taking Fred Shufflemar. He brought Farm Bureau people up from Boise, and so I kind of spent Thursday with them, and they were just in awe. They
There they
didn't
are,
realize
there.
what,
Pictures of them.
what, you know, we done, and that was a good thing. So now that we got that, their conferences in Coeur d'Alene this year, November, December, so we're gonna have to go give a spiel up there. But you know, Fred was like, they need to know that there's more to Idaho than sugar beets and potatoes.
Right.
And so, you know, he took them to the mines over there and mills and stuff. So, you know, it was good. It was a very good turnout. I'm glad, and I hope we're able to keep it going. You know, so in 3 years, let's see, 1, 2. Well, the 4th year it'll be back here, hopefully.
Yeah, but they'll host it in different places.
Yeah, we were gonna do it at Chilco, and I don't know what happened at Chilco now, but anyway, we're going up by Sandpoint now, I guess, somewhere. And then the following year, I don't know whether we'll go to Deary or Cami or Fino or somewhere down there. At the ALC's annual banquet at the end of April, I had a gal, 17-year-old gal, goes to school in Horseshoe Bend, very active in CTE there. She's going to be a welder. Anyway, she says, I want to put this on down there. And I said, well, let us know. Let us know and we'll get things going.
Well, starting with our resource tour in 6th grade, and then just reinforcing, you know, if we can, even
And that
if we
summer
can only
camp.
take every other year or something to this, you know, so that as they mature up through high school, they're constantly learning a new aspect or something new, you know, happens in an individual's life and something triggers, you know,
Well, it's just, you know, it's job opportunity, not
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's good to get the logging education out there, but I mean, just the different professions that are in there to,
Right. Just
you know,
to
I mean,
reinforce
it's.
our own, grow our own.
Exactly.
Keep our community here, give
Yeah.
them a reason to stay, and boost our own economy.
Yeah, so.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Jody, very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome. Thank you guys.
Let's go moving on to Jay, the 2025-2026 school calendar update. Dr. Lynch.
All right, if you look at draft 7, that's the one we're gonna look to approve tonight. let's see, I'll talk you through this. Same start dates. Yeah.
Draft.
Seven, the last one.
Mine's 5, so I feel from 60 to 7. See them.
You put it up on the board here?
I
Maybe.
can try, yeah. It's gonna be small. You want a hard copy?
I'm looking at it.
Here we
One
go.
here if you don't see one, man.
Can you read that?
Can you just
Yeah, I got a hard copy in here, man.
make yours bigger?
I can try to make it
Okay.
bigger.
Right here, buddy. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I'll put this in PDF. There it goes. There you go, Paul. That helped a little. And then we lost you and I'll slide down.
Yeah, I'm good.
Readers.
Maybe.
Our readers now. These are permanent.
Bifocal. Okay, so you've seen this calendar. So we'll just finalize from all the different conversations what we landed on. 3 days at the start. What is different is we're going to go to school on Veterans Day and we're going to go to school on MLK Day, both holidays.
Okay.
What's different, or I guess we're changing it up a little, is September 2nd. There was a request to have that day, and there was also a request about having that day October 10th. So, September 2nd will be a non-student, but it will be a teacher professional development or work day. Both those will be. And the idea is with the Panacea contract and they providing staff some additional basic training and more advanced safety training, they need a full day to train our staff. They were where and how are we going to fit that in? So we added September 2nd. So 2 schools will go on September 2nd for the basic safety training, and the other 2 will get some school time and maybe some collaboration, maybe a little staff meeting, maybe some meetings with families, and work time in the classroom. September 10th, the other 2 schools will get the basic October 10th, also the opening day of hunting. The other 2 schools will get that same basic, bless you, safety training. And then the other 2 schools will get the school time and class time. Then we have the same. Now if you look at March, we adjusted that a little bit based on some feedback. The March 26th, the quarter ends the 26th, and then that evening, instead of doing parent conferences, we're doing an open house. Staff kind of talked about it's so late in the year, they'd rather see an open house there. Then the 27th is the same as it typically is. It'll be kind of a half day, no students. There can be a few conferences because staff still wanted a few conferences and work in the classroom. Then we moved the in-service day to the start of school following spring break, so that will be April 6th. Instead of having it at the end, right before spring break, they'll combine their end of the quarter, have open house, have class time, have conferences, and then to open up, returning to school, we'll open that with a no student day, but a teacher in-service day. The days in the quarter all remain the same. The total instructional days remain the same. Contract days remain the same. The one other change is teachers like the floating day, so we put in a floating day, and that will let kids and staff out one day earlier in June. There you go. That's the calendar.
Any questions
itself.
to this, guys? Comments, concerns? Paul?
Should work.
Josh? Okay. All right, moving on. ASBA Law Conference Summary. Dr. Wrench and Trustee Hendricks.
I just put this on there per request of Beth Halverson, who appreciates going, didn't get to go this time because she was busy lambing. So I did send the agenda with summary notes of each session in one of the Friday board letters, and I printed a hard copy in your board agenda that has, again, a list of each session with some summary notes. And if there's anything you are more interested about, Jody and I can either answer questions and or I have the full slide presentation.
You got questions about Beth? You good with that?
Some good night reading
All
there for you,
right.
Beth.
That's for you.
Thank you.
And L, board request to admin board development.
Two things. So, super quick, it's not for future. It's
Is this
just
in
if we-
regards to this specifically?
The, what?
The board development?
Yeah,
Or is
it's
this-
request, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Did we hear anything from McKinstry about the labor things that we were waiting on?
Possibly. What were you waiting on? I heard, I got a report from them today and I can send that out to us on Friday.
The deter-
Oh, okay.
Oh, the
That's what you're
labor.
waiting on.
what-
Oh, the wage,
So
that's
the-
right, yes, it
yeah,
did
the
get
wage
approved,
thing.
yes.
So we're
Sorry.
moving forward.
Moving forward.
Okay.
They're planning on ordering the units for the middle school this summer, just, yeah, same
Okay.
timeline.
All right.
And the windows for the Hayburn, yes,
Okay. All
moving
right.
forward.
Just wanted to make
Yes.
sure that was not
That's
still
right.
in limbo.
That's right, I forgot about the wages.
That was one thing.
Yeah.
You said two things.
Two things. Okay,
Yep.
second one. I
I'll
want
send you the timeline.
to keep the non-lethal policy moving.
Okay.
Can we keep working on that?
I figured in June we'd hit up our policy meetings again and bring policies forward,
Okay.
so we'll put that one back on the agenda.
Berna just came out with a compact.
Who did, what did?
Berna.
I'm gonna write down my name.
But I heard that and I was like, wait a minute, where did that go? That got lost in conversation. We need to bring that back
Put it
up.
on pause.
So I would
Okay.
like to continue developing that policy.
We'll bring that back in June.
Awesome.
And I'll send you the timeline of McKinstry and the Friday board letter.
You with everybody else? Okay. Going to action items, you ready? When you review and consider a motion to offer certified personnel contracts for the 2025-2026 school board year. School year, excuse me.
So moved.
Got Jody to move it.
Second.
Got a second from Josh.
Paul.
Paul. No, Josh. Sorry, my brain's not working right now. Josh, sorry. Second from Josh. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Need to review and consider a motion to offer administrative contracts for the 2025-2026 school year.
So moved.
Got one move from
Second.
Josh, second from Paul.
Yeah, that's what the board clerk.
All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Review and consider a motion to extend contracts for the 2025-2026 school year.
So moved.
Got one move from
Second.
Jody, second from Beth. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Review and consider a motion to approve the use of St. Mary's High School football equipment on June 19th through the 27th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Move from Paul, second from Jody. We need to review and consider a motion to adopt 2020.
Good.
Oh, sorry. All in favor saying aye. I apologize.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I need to review and consider a motion to adopt the 2025-2026 school year.
So moved.
One from Beth.
Say draft.
So we draft seven.
Oh,
Draft seven,
number
you guys are one, two?
7.
Draft seven.
Draft 7.
I make a motion that we accept draft number 7 for the 2025-26 school calendar year.
Second that.
Second from Jody. All in favor saying aye.
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 Nay. So nay. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I need to review and consider a motion to approve the 21st Century Grant field trips on June 11, 2025 to the Northwest Museum of Arts and Culture, Spokane, Washington, and June 12, 2025 to the Palouse Discovery Science Center and Grizzly Bear Viewing Area, Pullman, Washington.
And there's a little description of the activities and the learning in your forward it to him
Right,
if
right.
you have any questions.
Who pays for it?
The 21st Century Grant. It's part of the after-school program.
Thank you.
Any questions on that?
Good question.
Comments or discussion? I need a motion to approve that.
Make that motion.
Got a motion from Jody, need a second from
Second.
Paul, Josh, sorry. Got a second from Josh, all in favor saying aye?
Aye.
Aye. Review and consider motion to approve K&K Insurance Company voluntary student insurance.
Move that.
Second under that, hold on, discussions?
I'm foggy on that one.
Danette can help me explain this. This is just something we offer. There's no strings attached, there's no financial, it's just something our kids can't and families can enroll in, particularly our athletes. And it's a reasonable, they have different, very reasonable rates.
Before us, about a month ago,
I may have talked to you about it.
Talk to us about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And then it just has reasonable rates for families, particularly athletes.
They've had this prior, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
year in and
That's
year out for
awesome.
many years.
Yeah.
You're just kind of sponsoring it, and then we offer it at the different schools to families.
It's good idea.
I've heard nothing but good
You got
things.
somebody like Scott where he breaks a collarbone and gets a concussion.
Exactly. We've had a few families going, do you have any insurance for us? My kid keeps getting in accidents.
Awesome.
Yep.
Happy.
So I need a motion came from Beth, is that right?
It can.
Or does it look like
Me.
you?
I made the motion.
I'll
Sorry,
second it.
Seconded from Beth. Okay, was it from Paul?
I've got a grandson.
It's
No,
okay.
like,
Okay, from Beth.
Josh was
All in favor
fuzzy.
saying aye?
Aye.
I need to review and consider a motion to adjourn.
Move that.
Second.
So one from Jody, second from Paul. In favor saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.